This last day of the season after Pentecost is known as the Feast of Christ the King. Many of us struggle with this language of royalty, with Jesus as king, since in the U.S. we don't have such a system. King to us may connotate a dictator, King to us may connote a dictator, crushing his subjects under an oppressive rule. Perhaps that is why Jesus was reluctant to accept this title when Pilate questioned him. His kingdom and his kingship is not from this world. His kingship is to bring about freedom among all the peoples of the world, to bring us together as one people, and to free us from sin. To do so, he must be greater than all the other rulers of the world, as his kingdom is from heaven. Jesus made us a kingdom of priests, a priesthood of all believers, serving his God and Father. Think of that, a kingdom of priests. We are all priests. What do priests do? We gather people for worship. We retell the story of Jesus' sacrifice. We lead people in prayer, comfort the afflicted, and afflict the comfortable. Teach and proclaim the good news of God and Christ. Feed the hungry, clothe the naked, bring healing to the sick, visit the imprisoned, proclaim justice for the poor and oppressed. Wait, that sounds a lot like our baptismal covenant. That sounds a lot like the work that all of us are called to do as Christians. So we are all priests, under one bishop, let's say. Maybe we're more comfortable with churchy language than we are with royal language. Jesus has many names and many images. The point is, this project of God to bring about reconciliation, healing, love, and justice is one that involves all of us. Jesus was sent here to show us the way, to help usher in the kingdom of God. There's that language again. But his work isn't finished. He's counting on us, on all of us. And I think that's especially important to remember in this time of leadership transition at St. Mark's. No matter who is standing up here preaching or leading you in prayer, this is always going to be your church. Even if someday you have a full-time rector, never neglect either your responsibility or your authority for the work of God. Each of us was commissioned for mission and ministry at our baptism. So just because you're going to have a priest in charge doesn't mean that you can leave all the decisions to him. The work of the church is all of your work to do. And the joy belongs to all of you as well. I know this year has been tough on you. First, to learn that your beloved rector was retiring and moving away. That's a big loss, on top of other losses that many of you have felt. And then to have me filling in only quarter time, stirring things up, doing things a little differently than what you're used to, and without the time to attend to all of the things that you or I might have liked me to attend to. And to have that time drag on without knowing when it might end. Sally and the vestry and all of you have had to carry much of the weight during this time. And you've done a remarkable job. Don't stop. Unfortunately, today you and I have to say goodbye. Now you may be breathing a sigh of relief that you're going to have a half-time priest again for an indefinite period of time who can oversee the workings of St. Mark's and offload some of the responsibility from you. And while that is true and exciting, it will also mean that there's more change to come. You'll need time to adjust to him and him to you. That will take time. You'll need to negotiate who does what and when and with whom. And even if you had a full-time priest, the work of the church is not only his job, it's yours. This is your church, and you are responsible for what goes on here. The priest is here to empower you, to guide you, to nurture you for the work that you're called to do. Because we're a kingdom of priests serving God together. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with you. You're a remarkable congregation. Your faithfulness, flexibility, willingness to go with the flow, forgiveness, and your passion for mission are outstanding. Don't stop what you're doing. I hope that with Brian you will find a way to invite and welcome more young families with children and to develop worship and programs that nurture them. I hope that you will consider more ways to continue partnering with other faith communities in the area, Episcopal or otherwise, to accomplish mission and ministry together. And I hope that you will continue to care for each other as you do so naturally and graciously. It's been a pleasure to walk with you on this portion of your journey. I think you are a very healthy congregation, respectful of each other, and eager to do the work of God. Remember the words that Jesus repeats so often: be not afraid. Never forget who you are and whose you are. You are children of God, partners with God, a kingdom of priests, and heirs of God's kingdom. Blessings to you in your future. Amen.